All right, here is the video that I mentioned earlier. My Ender 3, this is just a stock printer. It has just the basics of 3D printing. You know, all you need is the filament, extruder, filament delivery, hot end, and table. That's all you need. And in this particular case, I'm printing with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and I'm printing silk silver PLA at 210C. Um, as you can see, I am printing in a specific way. I print in this fashion all the time. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that this is the way I set up my print surface because it works, because it's always worked. I've printed well over 3,500 STL files on 4 Ender 3s and have really had nothing, no issues that was caused by the printer itself. You can see here that my filament is mounted here on the side and not at the top because I didn't want to print a bunch of arms and levers and gizmos to redirect the path of the filament, because from right here it's just basically straight in, straight through, straight down, straight in. Okay. You can also see that it's just your basic hot end. Nothing about it has been changed because it's just not required. Its only job is to heat the filament to a specific temperature and to deliver it to the table. I just have 2 fans, all that's required. This fan cools the heat sink. This fan blows down onto the part. Sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's not. You can see here that I am using a mirror surface. I use a mirror for some specific reasons, one of which that is very important is it's reflective, it's removable, and it's flat. Those are the basic reasons I use it. Also, when I tram the bed, I don't tram it out here. So if I'm doing a small print, I just put the tape where I need it and tram it there. I won't trim out here unless it's needed because it's just not required. I don't have an electronic gizmo here to do my tramming for me. I just use the human touch, the basically not the CR touch or anything like that, just the human touch and the old school tramming tool, piece of paper. Okay, I can get paper anywhere. I don't have to buy a feeler gauge or anything to do it because once you've mastered it, you basically have it for life. You can see also it's flat to the table. These 2 parts will be glued together. One half of it would be, I guess, considered the right side, and that would be the left side. They would be glued together. You can see there's no brim, no wrap, no messy Elmer's glue, as people recommend. Maybe they need it, but if you print in this fashion, you don't. And another thing that you don't have to worry about at all is heating the bed. And I know people say, well, it comes with a heater, why don't you use it? Because it's not needed. Basically, it's a thing of the past. This here shows the temperature of my nozzles, 210. My bed temperature set point is set at 0. That means it's a non-heated bed, and it's sitting at about room temperature, which it would be. There's no covers around the printer at all to block whatever, any kind of wind flow or air or whatever. It's just, again, it's just not required. You can see the springs here are the ones that came with the printer. I mean, no bullshit. Right there, those are the original springs. Because I have it set up in this fashion and the springs are properly installed. When they're not properly installed, then you have problems with leveling and yada yada yada, and people recommend go to the yellow springs, go to solid chunks of rubber. Well, I didn't want to defeat the safety feature of collapsible springs. The springs are just good enough. It's been designed for this purpose, just good enough to hold it level when it should. And if anything happens, and if for whatever reason my fingers, if I'm grabbing a piece of filament or pushing something away, it's collapsible. It has just enough elasticity to push away. So again, I don't damage the printer or I don't damage myself. Okay, because over the years, you may have a tendency to reach in and grab underneath there, whether it's going up or down, you know, the gantry. You don't want to risk hurting yourself. So that's why Creality decided on springs that they put, because they didn't want to be sued for springs that were too stiff, okay? And they didn't want to make it solid because, again, that defeats the safety feature. Again, here you can see basic hot end, nothing about it has been changed. You can, don't take my word for it. You can see This is basic. Bowden tube, not direct drive. It's just not required. Bowden tube works because I don't want to put all the weight of that, you know, the extruder, the stepper, or anything on top of this, because it's a moving part of the printer. If you add a bunch of weight here, you can't turn off gravity. So pull the gravity away, pull all that weight off, put it over there where it should be, deliver the filament with the Bowden setup, and it works perfectly. You just have to know how to do it. All right? That there again is not the metal extruder. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the plastic original extruder. And because it works. And it also has like a little hook here on the side to hang the cable in as it was designed. There we are, we're done. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you, that this is how my Ender 3 prints. I have Ender 3 Pros as well, 4 printers. They're all set up exactly the same way. And we're going to go ahead and pull this back here so we can take a quick look at it. So this is it. This is the print. There's no curling, no bending, no anything based on, you know, all the factors around the printer. I mean, I used to print, or I still do, sometimes at an open air flea market, and it has plenty of open air blowing and everything else. Having it like this, it prints as you see it, right here, no baloney. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these off of here and glue them together as it was intended. Again, no curling. You can see for yourself, flat to the table, as it's supposed to be, as it always is. All right, happy printing.